I keep the coat on and spring back the way I've come to the chemist's. The prescription is ready. Thanking the pharmacist, I push the paper bag of medication into my pocket and hurry back to my car, feeling stylish and foolishly happy. Along with my husband's pills, I clutch the secret about where I spent this afternoon to my chest. By the time I do finally arrive back at the causeway to the island, the spring tide, they happen twice a month, but this one is even fuller than usual, means the road's completely vanished. A queue of cars, mostly Audis and 4x4s and the odd Tesla, has formed in front of me, and in the rear-view mirror I see more traffic arriving. There have been times when a vehicle has got submerged, its driver discovering the hard way that the water is deeper in the middle of the causeway than they envisaged. They forget that although it's the 21st century, we are still fundamentally linked, even in our top-of-the-range cars, to the phases of the moon, to the rhythm of the tides, to the weather, to the elements. We are still dependent on nature and ignore this truth at our peril. It's something Jonah and I often discuss, how we recognize, particularly as we age, that we belong to something bigger. He often talks of his renewed sense of awe for the environment that's been further kindled by his living on the boat. At last the road surface emerges as the waters slip away, and the cars in front move tentatively over the causeway. We've had to wait over half an hour to move. But this afternoon, no one gets stuck. We crawl across safely. At home, Tobias is at the computer as usual, sorting through family photos, a project he embarked on after his stroke. "I hand over the curating of our married life to you, my love," I'd said when he came up with the idea. It's true I wondered at the time what would remain when he'd reduced our life together to his key scenes, sorted into albums that he intends to give as gifts to Mia and George on their birthdays. As Tobias works through the photographs, he adjusts our family history, removing the things that don't fit with the facade he likes to present to the world. What tale will the photos tell when he's edited out what or who he doesn't want to remember? I've resigned myself to accepting his narrative, aware part of our family history will be confined to the rubbish heap. But with the best will in the world, you can't retain a record of every moment of all your children's and grandchildren's growing years. I have my own memories anyway, my own things that matter to me. I have diaries, drawings, cards made by the children when they were little or sent to me when they were older. I stand in the doorway and watch my husband before he notices me. Tobias's once fair hair is beginning to grey. He still has that pale, Scandinavian look about him that I found so attractive when I first met him. Still do, on occasion. But Tobias is a faded version of the man he was before, since his illness. In addition to physio, he had to have speech therapy for months, joining an aphasic group where he learned to name things, the way Xavier, our baby grandson, was doing at the time. Tobias still often gets his words muddled. Some days he seems more diminished by the stroke, poor man, than on others. He's still tall, slender, good-looking, with his high cheekbones and prominent chin. But his hairline's receded at the front, and he needs a haircut at the back where the darker grey is curling into his collar. Cutting my husband's hair used to be something I took pride in. The fact it's got so long and unruly speaks of my recent preoccupation. I've been neglecting him. Leaning over his shoulder, I see he's reached a time 3 summers ago, when Mia had just moved up here with Xavier. Zav's 3 years old in the picture, wearing a yellow raincoat and 2 big wellies. He's holding a fishing net on a stick and grinning at the camera. "Where have you been?" Tobias talks to the screen. "Getting your medication. Then the tide was up." Tobias doesn't ask any more about my day.